In this video, we'll see how to zoom to different scales, where the scale of the map is reported, and also how we can set bookmarks in case we want to get back to exactly the same scale that we've zoomed into previously. So I've opened up the template for the conterminous United States again, and if you want to follow along, you can do the same. I'm in the data view, and if I look up in this box here, what I see is the map scale. This map is currently being displayed at a scale of 1 to 20 million, which means that 1 inch on this map would equal 20 million inches in the real world. If I press on this drop-down menu here, I see that I can display this at other scales as well. The next scale there after 20 million is 1 to 10 million. If I go ahead and do that, what we can see is I actually zoom in. So the smaller the number is after the colon, the more zoomed in we are. And I can go from 1 to 10 million to 1 to 3 million, and now we see we're quite zoomed in here. That's one way that we can zoom to different scales. If I want to, I can also customize this list and add another scale. Let's say I want this at 1 to 8 million. I just add that. Say OK, and now it appears in my list, and I can zoom into 1 to 8 million. So as long as we're doing this, we can zoom to the different predefined scales. I could also just type in a scale there if I wanted to do it to 1 to 7 million, and just press return, and it zooms into 1 to 7 million. So as long as we're doing these, we'll have nice round numbers for our scales and the predefined scales. Once again, the smaller the number gets, the more zoomed in it is. Right? We're somewhere in Kansas when we do that, and don't really see the outline until about 1 to 3 million. The scale will always be reported there. So as you probably know, there's two different ways to zoom in. You can pick the zoom in on the data view button, and you can press zoom in. And as you see, that kind of keeps the number of map scale as round units again. It goes from 1 to 2.5 million to 1 to 2 million to 1 to 1.5 million. But let me zoom out a little here. 3 million. If I want to use this and draw a box around, if I want to try to get as close to zooming in on Kansas as I can, let me try that again. I missed a little there. Then now we get a number that's not necessarily a nice round number, but that is the scale of the map. So that in this way we can either zoom and get to any particular view we want and then report the scale, or we can zoom into a particular scale and then see what it looks like. One other thing I'll mention here, if you zoom in and you really like what your map looks like, you can also add a bookmark. And bookmarks basically just take you right back to that zoom. So instead of calling this bookmark 1, because I'm zoomed in on Kansas, I'm going to call this Kansas. Say OK. And then no matter where I zoom after that, if I ever want to get back to Kansas, I just go under my bookmarks, go down to Kansas, select it, and I'll zoom back to that past zoom that I had. It'll be at exactly the same map scale, and it will show exactly the same extent within that window.